Salutations, everyone. Welcome to the Crypto Truth, where I give you the truth as I see it. Today is going to be a little bit of a special video. I don't know if you guys know this, but I really don't spend a lot of my time like I used to surveying the crypto space. I'm not as involved as I used to be in the crypto space overall as a whole. I've stopped looking at a bunch of different projects, and I kind of try to look at the top projects and the ones that are going to kind of sort of make a difference. I had a comment on my last video about how my channel is the Crypto Truth, and I talk about a lot about Holochain. Well, I talk a lot about Holochain because it is the best technology out there. I also have videos on Bitcoin and Ethereum and XRP, but with those, nothing has changed. The core, everything about it has not changed, and what they're doing has not changed, and the technology itself, in my own personal opinion, is behind the Holochain DLT. So I just want you guys to understand that there's a lot of, with my thought process, I don't believe in wasting a lot of time and energy trying to find out the next new big thing by looking at all of the different projects. What I did was I simply said, okay, what is the best cryptocurrency? And then I looked at who has the best technology. And then I found a list of them. And I said, well, what is the best one for blockchain? And then I realized that there were different, this is a long time ago, I realized that there were different blockchains, but different distributed ledger technologies as well. And I'm like, well, what is the best distributed ledger technology? And then the idea of Holochain and Holo was an excellent idea. I had to wrap my brain around it. You guys know I had to make tons and tons of videos of just me doing research and understanding how things are going. So that's why I came up my channel with the Crypto Truth. It kind of changed, and I'm not changing the title because I'm still telling you guys the truth, especially the truth as I see it. Excuse me, you guys, let me make sure I turn this off. I can't believe I just did that. Put this on vibrate. All right, so basically today's video is going to be a little bit different because I'm going to just kind of talk to you guys from the heart. I want to talk to you guys about my thought process, where I think this world is going. This has a lot to do with cryptocurrency. I understand a lot of you may be offended by some of the things I'm going to say. I really do try to be balanced in my thinking. But if you have a problem with what I have to say, please feel free to leave a comment. If you guys notice, I don't mind answering questions. Or even having a discussion. So maybe that's the route you want to go. But at the end of the day, I'm just a regular average guy. I consider myself a regular average guy that just talks about cryptocurrency. Okay, so first and foremost, I just want to, as usual, I'm going to go over Bitcoin. We all see where it's at. I used to do this all the time. We're at 2.32 trillion market cap. It's not that much compared to where it was about 3 years ago. But we know that as the bull run happens, it's going to get bigger. Oh my God, look at this. I didn't even realize this. Cryptos, 2.4 million plus. Is that accurate? Holy I'm sorry. I'll try. This video is not for kids. I will try to watch my language a little bit, but as I move forward, you guys will see why that's going to be thrown out a window. Bitcoin dominance is at 53.7%, which is gigantic. Ethereum is at 15.4%, which has gone down. It used to be around 19-20%. Fear and greed index, we're looking at 52 right here. So very interesting. We do see a little bit of a bounce back in the market overall, but again, like I said, overall, I just think it's just to me, it's going sideways. I am watching paint dry. To me, even if it got to $70,000, I'm still watching paint dry. It's not really much of a move for Bitcoin as far as I am concerned, and what my expectations are for Bitcoin in the future. We do see that there has been a we have Ethereum, Tether, BNB, all of these. Solana, you guys, I'm not the biggest Solana fan, but hey, you know what? Have at it. They've made money. XRP is still doing XRP. It's still doing its thing. There's a lot out there of a lot of unknowns with XRP, especially. I can't wait for this whole lawyer lawsuit thing to be over with. Toncoin. I'm not even going to talk about Toncoin, Dogecoin. I will talk about Cardano, but not really Cardano, but really Charles Hoskinson. He's really been extremely vocal about, and we're going to talk a little bit about this later on, about how a lot of the blockchain cryptocurrency companies kind of moved across seas to other places. And kind of left America in the dust. Like, as far as like, they're like, oh, I'm not building there. And we see the Holochain was one of those companies or organizations. Like, hey, you guys aren't friendly. We're gonna get sued. There's a lot of stuff that's going on. A lot of ambiguity, excuse me, in the law, and we don't want no part of that. So Charles Hoskinson has been very vocal. There's a couple of here. We got Polygon down here, Litecoin down here. I don't know. I still don't understand what the hell ICP is doing up there. Here's what I want to show. Today we've had a large jump with Pepe. It's a meme coin. It is what it is. I know a lot of people are saying, they're excited about it. We'll see. I haven't invested in Pepe. I never did. So, yeah, we'll see how that goes. But we clearly see that with these, look at this, Floki has gone up within the last 24 hours at 9%. Bunk has went up a little bit at 6%. So we do have a little bit of, what the hell? Dog with hat. WIF. Well, I guess that's a meme or whatever. I never heard of that shit, but okay. Yeah, I'm not, as you guys know, I don't really follow like these coins and stuff. I'm not really into all of that. But we do see that there's a lot going on in the crypto market. Just a lot of volatility. All right, let's move forward. So the next comments I'm going to make in the next topic that I want to talk about is really about America. I am extremely disappointed. I'm not surprised, but disappointed in the direction that our country has taken. But you know what? We as Americans have nothing but ourselves to blame. And let me explain why. We have given so much credence and so much respect to these news outlets that are clearly biased. And for the most part, they talk about a lot of things that really don't apply to our everyday lives. We put a lot of things, and I'm just going to go here because I'm going to tell you guys exactly what I did. I put in news today through Google. And there are a lot of things that just, what does it matter? Okay. Some of it's okay, but then some of it's like, who cares? Right? And so I just want to give an example of what's happening in our world today. If we look at, let's go U.S.A. Works, breaking news headline today, top American news today. Now this is great because this is a sponsor and it's talking about, well, let's just click on it. This is my first time at this site. All right. Latest news, initial investment management acquires Hasi New Holdings. Okay. California Nabee's warehouse cannabis workers join Teamsters. Okay. Teamsters celebrate vote against worker misclassification in Somerville. Okay. Microsoft 3.3 investment in Wisconsin for cloud, AI, and structures. Okay. Microsoft invests 3.3 billion to boost AI infrastructure. Okay. Biden advisor promotes infrastructure as at upstate homecoming. Okay. RI secures 6.1 for public transit from infrastructure law. Okay. Australia's number 2 pension fund targets UK infrastructure. Look like you infra for infrastructure, private markets. Okay. I don't know where to start with this, but this news that a lot of people and even in the crypto space, and we're going to talk about the crypto space in a second. We're going to get back to Holochain as well. Actually, I got a little bit of a rant going on with the Holochain community. It's my usual rant, so if you guys have heard it before, please move on after all of this. But I'm fairly pissed. I'm gonna stay calm right now because I don't want you guys to think I'm a madman. Not yet, anyway. So this is the latest news. Let's there are different news outlets, so let's take a look at this here. Star witness Michael Cohen implicates Trump hush money case. So this is the president of the United States, and they're talking about that stuff. Melinda French Gates is resigning from Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. I think they had a divorce or whatever. Duke students walk out. Jerry Seinfeld graduation speech and Gaza protest. The goal is not peace. What's behind Putin's wartime Russia reshuffle? Plane makes successful wheeled up emergency landing in Australia. School identifies teen struck, killed by boat while water skiing in Wisconsin Bay. Now I'm going to click on the latest news from CNN and let's see what we got here. Obviously CNN is, these are all, but you know what do they call this? If you lean left or right, you really have a problem. I need to ask you to just kind of stand straight up just for like a couple seconds here. We all know that CNN is biased towards Democrats. That just is what it is. It is what it is. If anybody tells me any different, you're a fucking idiot. Same thing with Fox. They lean right and they lean Republican, right? It is what it is. If you cannot hear or understand that truth, then you really there's no help. There's no hope for you. I gotta leave you alone, or just skip my channel, move forward. Whatever. Be angry, but that is the truth. And we look at what is what the top messages are, and we find a lot of news of the news outlets that's happening. A lot of the news that give out these news outlets that give out information on what's happening today, we often we often don't understand what's really happening, because look at this. Okay, so live from courtroom, key points from Cohen testimony. 24 minutes ago, see sketches from Michael Cohen's testimony. So that's pictures. Court is breaking for lunch. Cohen says he was the only person to retain agreement, ensure the information will never get out. Ukraine finds itself, we already read that, Ukraine finds itself in a grave situation. Russia appears to be advancing. New Jersey senator is accused of taking bribes. Gold bars, cash, and a car. Let's just click on that real quick. Bob Senator, U.S.A. says Democratic Senator Bob Mann of New Jersey, who faces 16 charges, conspiracy. Why is this any? One of the issues is that this guy, all of this stuff is going on. This guy is probably not going to get any kind of jail time. That's just the truth of the matter. Our justice system is shit. The way we run our country is so disturbingly ridiculous. I just don't even, I don't understand how we have a bunch of people with an IQ over 50 and people are like mindless fucking robots. Just not even thinking about how our system is created. Thousands of people around the world live off the grid. See how the community does it. World of lava flow. You need to go back to U.S. news. Here we go. Back to U.S. news. And by the way, you guys, I'm getting to a point here. I want you guys to hear me out real quick. There's only a couple of other things, and then I'm going to move forward here. 1,500 Georgia State University applicants got acceptance email. It was a mistake. Explosive wildfire threatens to overrun a Canadian town. Demolition of a key section of Baltimore Francis Scott Key Bridge set this afternoon, this weekend for weather delays. 5 things to know about Trump's trial. Gaza, Ukraine, several severe weather. Bob Menendez. All right, moving forward here. Let's go back. Local news. There we are. Let's go Fox News. Let's go to opposite. Listen, convicted liar Cohen's secret Trump recording he shopped to magazine. Former White House squawk box forced to edit book after misleading claim about Biden. Jerry Seinfeld mocks Harvard University during Duke convention speech. WNBA star has a problem with NCAA phenom Caitlin Clark, but stats tell different narrative. Liberal city new Sheen to serve free booze to homeless alcoholics brews outrage. Lindsey Graham erupts on NBC over questioning of Israeli response. Taylor Swift fans rage after picture of baby on concert floor goes viral. Charles delivers another snub to Prince after ruling Harry after ruling out seeing him. This is all entertainment. NFL quarterback legend sends classy message to exes on Mother's Day. We live in a time where we don't think about what we are doing and why we're doing it in our lives. Because if we look at our life overall in general, we'll find out that it is extremely complicated. Our lives are extremely complicated. And when we look at the overall of our lifespans, and depending on how we see ourselves, do we see ourselves as a cog in the system? Do we see ourselves as a human being, just trying to be a better human being? Do we see ourselves as black? Do we see ourselves as white? Do we see ourselves? How do we see ourselves? Do we see ourselves as an American? Do you see yourself from a different country? Or, do you find yourself a Chinese, Filipino, Russian? What do you stand for? The things that you stand for? What do you see yourself as? All of that plays a part in how you live your life and what is important to you. People, I'm going to stress this to you. It is extremely important that you value yourself as a human being first. No matter what fucking country you're in, no matter what skin you happen to be born in, no matter what language you fucking speak, no matter what religion you were told that you should be a part of growing up, whatever it is, you should see yourself as a human being, and you should always strive to make yourself a better person. And that is extremely hard to do when we have all of these news outlets telling us what we should be paying attention to. And a lot of times when it comes to the, we're looking at trials and we're looking at all of these things, football players and their exes and Lady Gaga, whatever her name is, Taylor Swift, actually like a couple of songs, that's it. But all of these people, Their lives are not more important than yours. And because their lives are not more important than yours, you need to evaluate your life so that you can move forward in your life and make yourself a better human being so you can free yourself mentally and physically. And a lot of times financially, for those who can, I'll get into that later, from the binds of the culture that we have cultivated here in America. I am so sick and tired. And this is the same thing with in the cryptocurrency space. I am not the one who looks at Bitcoin charts and Holochain charts or hot charts. I don't look at XRP every day. I don't look at some of these times. Sometimes I don't even know what the market cap fucking is. And for some of you guys who have been following the crypto space every single day, hoping, oh, it's rising up again, 15%. Oh, it's down again, I'm sad. Oh, it's up again, I'm happy. Oh, it's down again, I'm sad. What the actual fuck? Understand the bigger picture. And then don't get yourself so emotionally involved when you understand what's happening. What is the key thing that's happening, and why are in understanding why are you so emotionally tied to it? A lot of times we are emotionally tied to something that we have hope for. And there's a lot of people, and I'm going to talk about the elephant in the room, and you guys might not like this, but I am going to do it anyway. The elephant in the room is your belief system. And a lot of people are tied to it. They're tied to being left. They're tied to excuse me. They're tied to a narrative. LGBTQ community, or whatever else is called, the ABC. I can't keep up with all of that. BLM and or Black Lives Matter, for some of you guys don't know, and then these protesters, and then we have that's protesting the war, Israeli war, and different things like that. We have a core problem in America, and we have not solved it. And the reason why we have not solved it is because we have not talked about the elephant in the room of how we live our everyday life, and how a lot of people are forced to think a certain way because they were raised that way. But culture, when your mentality, I grew up poor. I'm not afraid to say it. It is what it is. I almost kind of feel like I still am poor at times, knowing that I'm not. But my point is that I was raised to think a certain way, and it affected me for a long time. I was raised to think a certain way when it came to religion, when it came to lifestyle, when it came to finances, when it came to relationships, when it came to money, when it came to a whole lot of different things. I was cultivated and raised in my culture. Over here in America, we have so many people who are raised a certain way. It feels like, well, nobody understands me because I grew up poor. I grew up with my parents doing X, Y, and Z to me. I grew up with my dad not leaving me an inheritance. I grew up, whatever it is, everybody is looking at themselves and not really truly understanding what the bigger picture is. It is not about what, excuse me. It is not about what has happened to you in the past. It is about understanding who you are now, picking up the pieces, educating yourself, and finding a way to build a better future. And right now, we are so busy in the United States of America with all of this bullshit that's going on, with people paying attention every day to fucking these trials in court, and that's the whole mentality. Oh, I'm against Trump. Now, many of you guys know I personally don't like Trump. I don't, but I'm not gonna spend every day of my life trying to try to talk about one man. I often don't even understand people. I grew up in a time frame in which people literally had problems with black people or had problems with white people, and every single conversation was about white people doing this, and the white people were like, Caucasians are the black people are doing this, and it was like, dude, do you have anything else to fucking do with your life other than talk about somebody's fucking skin color? It absolutely amazes me. And so for some of you guys who don't know, my girlfriend is Caucasian. For some of you guys who don't know, I grew up in a black neighborhood in which I went to a Caucasian church for over 20 plus years and extremely involved. So it is not like I am against white people or black people, but I can see the conditioning. Ever since on both sides, I see the conditioning, and it is absolutely fucking ridiculous. As a human being, it amazes me that people spend their entire time complaining about somebody else's skin color. And then they're like, oh, no, it's not the skin color, it's the culture. They shouldn't be dressed like that or doing a certain thing. Hell, if you were in China, you'd be doing the same fucking thing that people in China are doing right now. If you were in Russia, you'd be doing the same thing. If you're in Ukraine, you'd be doing the same thing. Your thought process will be the same, because every single person most people in the world are conditioned by their culture that they grew up in. Over here in the United States of America, we have been conditioned to look at every other country as a fucking problem, instead of looking at our own goddamn problems. Instead of fixing the problems that we have here in the United States of America. When it comes to leadership, when it comes to being in charge, when it comes to being the most powerful country in the nation, we are extremely, extremely ignorant. Because we won't talk about the elephant in the room, which is your belief system. And when you boil everything down and really concentrate and have educated conversations and balanced conversations about how to truly solve the issue or the problem, United States of America will be just fine. But no, we look at other countries and we try to tell them what to do, and we ain't even got our own shit straight over here, which is extremely embarrassing. We got other countries, and here's the worst thing about it. We have other countries trying to follow our lead, and they're trying to follow in our footsteps, not understanding that their whole country is going to shit because they don't have the not the fortitude. What's the word? They don't have the solid concrete foundation that America has. And let me tell you something, America has a strong foundation. Unfortunately, it is going to fall if we don't get our shit together. Going back to cryptocurrency, we have seen that we have sat here and we have chased many of these countries away. Many crypto projects away. And it's embarrassing. We have adopted a tribalistic mentality because we always believe that, and I'm talking about over here in America, we have this belief system that the people who dress a certain way, who walk a certain way, who talk a certain way, well, you know what? Because I don't do those things, I might want to follow him so I can start doing those things, or so I can be like that person. I want to be like that person that has a mansion or cars or all of these physical things. I want to be like that person. Why? A lot of those people aren't even happy. Why do you think so many people in California, especially a lot of these actors, basketball players, a lot of these people have money. They don't know what to do with their money. They don't know what to do with their lives. Why? Because they are morally, not just morally, not all of them aren't morally corrupt, but they're morally destitute. And then when we start talking about morals, well, people think, oh, well, we got to talk about religion. Because obviously, morals and religion go hand in hand. The more religious you are, the more moral you are. And that is absolutely a lie. I'm going to bring this back. I'm going to dial this back just a little bit. The reason why we really have to evolve as a human race, and we have to understand, we really have to understand, especially all of us here in the United States of America. My reasoning is this. I'm not the most intelligent person in the world. There are more people way more intelligent than I am. Intelligent people can't meet up with intelligent people because they disagree and don't know how to communicate. That leaves the lack of communication throughout the world. That leaves us broken and fragmented. We can't get together. We can't have a nice conversation. We can't move forward. Even if we could, how do we go about changing the world or changing everything for the better and be able to correct the mistakes that we have before? Throwing money is not correcting the mistakes from before. It just leads to more problems. Before I get too sidetracked, let me go ahead and get into this. I think I flagged this post because this is very concerning, especially dealing with Holochain. Not flagged. I think I bookmarked. There it is, my bookmarks. All right. Which one? Here we go. This one here. And people, I'm sorry. If you like this guy, he might be a nice guy. He might be. But people like this really fucking frustrates me. You guys have known over the years, I have had many conversations over Twitter, and I refuse to respond to any of them anymore. However, I just can't. It's part of my life. Tribalism is never a good thing. When people worship the founders of Holochain as if some miracle has happened, or they're miracle people, or they're perfect people, or their ideas are perfect, and nobody challenges them on the roots, or not challenge the Holochain or Holo leaders, not them. But honestly, people like this, I didn't even think it was even possible. But here we are. I'm going to go ahead and read the first. It says, it's truly shocking how many people invested their hard-earned fiat in hot tokens without understanding the nature of the Holochain Holo project. They learned nothing of its history or ideological, philosophical roots. Now let me tell you guys something. When it comes to philosophy, I'm on that shit. When it comes to ideological ideals, oh yeah, I'm on it. When it comes to technology, yeah, I might be a little hazy on it. But when it comes to shit like this, okay. He might not have meant this in the most meanest way, but I'm sorry. You have spoken, and therefore I will respond. because he's not specifically talking to me, but just this idea, because this is how Americans, I want you to understand that this is how Americans think. Because once they, especially with religion, oh, I'm a born again Christian, God, Jesus, and beer, you know, and you look at it, you're like, what the fuck? How the fuck does that make any kind of sense? To them, it makes sense. If I look here, someone did respond, but it says they are merely speculators who think they purchased the rights to criticize and dictate the course of development. Let me tell you something. As a human being, we can speculate, and we do have the right to criticize anything that we put money into or that we have a belief in. If you don't criticize something that you believe in, then there's a problem. It makes you a fucking puppet. They don't realize that their thirst for fiat gains runs counter to the design's deep value currencies and living system of Holochain's ancestors. Holochain's ancestors. What the fuck are we doing here? What are we talking about? What was this in the 1500s? No, he's talking about at Metacurrency and Scepter.org. And he's talking about all of these. Let me tell you something, people. Yes, I have read a lot about the Metacurrency. I made videos on this. I've read about Scepter. I didn't make a video on Scepter. I did make a video on the Metacurrency project. I talked about it. We have to get to a point to where we have a better line of thinking overall. It's not just him, by the way. Unfortunately, he poked his head out, and so therefore he's here. These investors aren't helping and are in fact hindering the embrace and adoption of these significant shifts. So the people who put money in the hot and it's like, my hot whatever I have in hot went down 15, 20, 30, 40%. I can't believe this. This is bullshit. You know, I really had my hopes in it. Once again, these are people, they have hope for something. Now, they're hoping that a project, in any crypto project, doesn't matter what it is, they're hoping that it brings them financial gain. Now, what they do with that financial gain is, it really depends, right? So you can go out and buy a bunch of Corvettes. You can go out and buy a Lamborghini, excuse me. You can go out and buy, houses or be in the real estate market, start your own business. You can go out and feed 100,000 people because you made a lot of money from your heart that you feel like you want to go out and you want to give it back, actually help people. Okay? There's a lot of different ways you can take this, but no. This guy says, I wish these people would sell their hot coins and divorce themselves from all things Holochain. Are you fucking kidding me? Are you? Now, I made a whole, and by the way, I don't mind saying the F word. I don't mind cursing or anything else in between. Why? Because those are just words. And let me tell you something. I have learned a long time ago that you can say whatever you want to say. You can do whatever you want to do. You can claim purity or whatever you want to claim. But let me tell you something, people. When it comes to honesty, when it comes to doing what's right, when it comes to being a good person on this earth, I know me. And I know that for a fact that when it comes to morals, if there was a fly on the wall, I would have made some mistakes in my life. I have. But I haven't made hardly any mistakes when it comes to treating others with respect and loving my fellow human being and actually solving problems. This guy says he wishes that they would sell their hot coins and divorce themselves from all things Holochain. I have but one question. Why the fuck was anybody able to buy hot coins in the first place if you don't want people to have it? They're human beings. And yes, I think that a lot of this problem comes from a lack of clarification with the Holochain Holo organization, because they did derive from something, but the final output is not what they thought it was going to be, and it has changed over the years. But this guy does not get it. A lot of people don't get it. Here we go. We continue. Not sure Arthur Brock would agree with this. Holo ICO was to generate revenue to develop a product. People transferred their money, so should be reciprocated. Hence, deserve a ROI. Same for Holoport owners. Art has stated the aim to repay the community, even stating a $1 price, which is true. But he says the swap is reciprocation. ICO buyers got a huge discount on the price of Holo Fuel. That's the ROI. Now, I guarantee you, let me ask you guys something. When I go to, when I used to, when I used to go to fast food restaurants, and I go through there, and they give me, you know what? They tell me it's $12.95 for my meal. And I tell them, you know what? Let me write you an IOU. I got an IOU here. Don't worry. It'll be fine in about 6 years, and I'll repay you back. How many people are going to do that? From a business standpoint, you got to be able to have something. From a human standpoint, when you purchase things and you actually have fiat, because that's how the world works. Now, I'm sorry, unless this dude actually lives in the forest and is not receiving anything, dealing with any kind of fiat, he can talk. But I can guarantee you he doesn't, because he wears fucking clothes and it had to be bought by fucking fiat. So I don't understand the mentality of what this dude is even saying in the first place. It really gets under my skin. I know some of my scribes are like, dude, man, you need to leave this dude alone. I'm sorry, but there's a lot of people who subscribe to this mentality, and it's not just him. It's a lot of people in different countries, especially in the United States of America. Sometimes you gotta fucking think about and have a line of reasoning as to why you do things or why you believe things. In the beginning of this video, I explained to you my line of reasoning of why I believe and why I believe in Holochain and Holo, and why I pretty much only follow that project. There's a line of reasoning that I can follow. Some people don't have a line of reasoning. Don't be like people like this. The swap is the reciprocation. Let me see here. $1 price for $1 price for Holo Fuel. Okay, question for you. Why $1? Why are we pricing things in dollars? Right? It should be Holo Fuel this amount, 50,000 Holo Fuel. Why? Because it's a fiat that is the world reserve currency that everybody uses. We look at here. By the way, people, I have a Holoport. Out of all ICO participants, how many bought Holo Fuel to host a future HAP? If your ROI discount offer was made 100% clear, in my opinion, very few would have bought high. Abso-fucking-lutely. You're right. If people knew exactly what was happening and exactly what was going on, they would have never bought high. They would have put money in the Shiba Inu. And I can guarantee you I know that, because I would have been one of the ones. And if I look at back in the day, I made a goofy video or whatever, and I was like, Kakashi coin or whatever, being goofy and stuff like that. And that's all wonderful, well and good. But honestly, if I had to put my money in some kind of meme coin or gambled it away in the major meme coins that were out there, where everybody was doing, I would have made at least $800,000, at the very least. And that would have changed my world dramatically. So when I look at this, a lot of people, yes. Okay, consequently, Holo wouldn't have raised funds to develop Holochain. Price increase is the ROI return, not the swap. Absolutely. And it's even been stated by Mary Camacho that, hey, you know what? You don't have to switch over your hot in the Holo Fuel. But, hey, here we are. People just don't want to fucking listen. I don't understand. Now, oh, and by the way, It says if people like you and the Holochain team continue like this, the crypto world would divorce you after a while. This amount of carelessness is too much. Absolutely. Oh, and then he says, look, another Turk who got burned while speculating for fiat gains. What a surprise. Ciao, amigo. Are you fucking kidding me? And I don't understand why. Like, first off, in other countries, their currency is deflating. I mean, like a pop balloon deflating. Like a big ass hole in the balloon deflating. And fast. So I think it's disrespectful for people to look for, what is it called? Hope. All right. Going down here. I blocked this dude, but I'm gonna go ahead and put it up here because he knows I blocked his ass. Because I had a whole lot of conversations with him in the past too. This thread got some people very nervous and they are defending the blockchain extraction fully. It's understandable though, as it's still mainstream to buy tokens and wish to be a millionaire. You know, I think a lot of people do wish to be a millionaire. What they do with their money, most people, I'm just going to say it, because a lot of NBA players, they squander away their money. And they don't understand that the reason why they squander away their money or they don't have a lot of money is because of the fact that, well, it's because of the fact, excuse me, I'm sorry, I was reading that. I haven't read that, so I'm going to read it with you guys in a second. And I lost my point because I'm getting old. Hot coin speculators. Oh, here we are. I'm probably going to be blocked after this, you guys, so just throwing it out there. From this point forward, hot coin speculators will be blocked from my posts without even a hint of trepidation. I don't have any time or energy for your greed. You're unworthy of the information and insights that I share. Let me put it this way. You don't have time or energy for your greed, but you have time and energy to put up this tweet against the people. Just like I have time and energy to sit here and complain or talk about a dude with a mentality like this. Now, I do think that the Holochain organization, they're trying to, I think they're trying to allow the Holochain community to build up fluidly. Like, it's okay. You believe in this and you believe in that and everything. Yeah, everything's fairy tales. But here's the thing. When you don't have any solid information, it's very hard to have a solid belief in something. Case in point, we look at religion. There are many different religions across the world. There are different ways to what they call be saved, or when you die, you go a certain place, or maybe you don't get saved, or maybe there is no such thing as saving, or whatever it is. But unfortunately, today, we have so many people that are hell-bent on arguing for hours and hours. And I'm telling you, I used to be one of them because I went to a Bible college, and I know what we preachers talk about. And we talk for hours and hours and hours and hours and hours on what happened after death and all these different things. And guess what, people? Nothing has changed. Not a single goddamn thing has changed. When people die, they don't come back. That is the truth. And that's more of a truth than any belief system that anybody can put on there. If you die, you're not coming back. And the people that do come back weren't really dead in the first place. They may have been physically dead. There are very few people. By the way, my girlfriend's a nurse. Big news. So I wanted to tell you guys in a special way, but I think that was a good time, especially for those who made it this far. I no longer have a girlfriend. I have a fiance. I have got down on my knees and asked her to marry me. And unfortunately, she said yes. So now I trap myself happily with a woman. So, yeah. But anyway, moving forward from that, my girlfriend's a nurse. She tells me all the time about, these amazing things that happen. And I'm not saying that there's not amazing things. I do think there's a lot out there that we don't understand. I think there's a lot, there's more things to just physical. I think there's a lot of spiritual stuff going around. But I guarantee you that when we sit up here and we argue about something that we will never understand fully, or don't understand fully, we're not getting anywhere. That's why for these years, after a while, I stopped responding to people like this, because it's like, what? Huh? And there's a thought process and that I have, but I think these people, I think there's something seriously wrong with these people. It says, I'm not super technical. I don't fully understand the tech. I hold Holochain or HOT. What I don't understand is buying something like Holochain, not understanding of what it's trying to do. As long as there's growth, funding, and development with the project, I'm good. So this person should say, hey, you know what? I don't understand all the tech, but I like what I'm hearing. I see that they're growing. And development is great. I'm going to invest in it. And I'm using the word invest. I'm going to purchase HOT in the hopes that the HOT token goes up, because you know what? That's what I want to do. And this person, he says, you should understand what it is you bought. It may not be what you think it is. There's a whole lot of shit out there that is not what we thought it was going to be. And there's a lot of people who invested. A lot of people have 401ks and they have different things, and they understand the risk. Hey, I put a little bit here, put a little bit there. I'm hoping that it actually goes up, right? And I'm hoping that it provides me more gains than the bank does at 0.000000001%, right? I'll tell you what it's not. Another crypto coin powering the maintenance of a blockchain ledger. Well, it's not. It's Holochain. So any educated person will say this. This is something that I wanted to bring up, and this is something important. I think, I don't know how true this is, but this individual says, so since I quit my job and joined the Holo project in 2019 because I believe it was a breakthrough, and I got paid in HOT instead of fiat, you're going to block me because I'm a greedy speculator? Okay, bye then. But consider that you may be wrong and not actually understand what's going on. Absolutely. Because I remember the times, and I actually posted some of these, I remember the times where they had put in application forms, or where they had put out job apps for people to join the Holo team. And this person said, hey, I don't know whether he did it or not, but on there, people got paid in HOT. That's what it was listed as. It doesn't say that anymore, by the way. I want you guys to realize that small detail. It says, I think it's Holo Fuel, the last one. Maybe I should look at, you know what? We'll look at that in a split second here. And we'll take a look at that. But I believe it said Holo Fuel. But you get paid in fiat. But it used to be HOT. It's no longer HOT anymore. So I don't know what happened. But I do know what happened. But I'm not getting into that. That's not what I'm doing here. This person says, for instance, everything is always valued in the most fungible money. He just said it better than I did. Right now, that's USD. Bad money always pushes out good. That's why people spend the copper coins and save their silver coins. So the most fungible money will always be the best of the bad money available. Right now, that's USD. Tomorrow, something else. So every time you complain about people valuing stuff in fiat, you're actually exposing your lack of understanding, and it's tiring. Brother, I'm telling you, it is tiring. Don't waste your time, man. Like, after this, I'm hoping that he blocks me, because it just, me seeing it just kind of gets under my skin. He doesn't live free in my head, because I don't really think about this dude until he posts shit. And I'm like, oh yeah! I remember that dude, and I'm like, look at this bullshit. He says, if you insist on converting your money into something you believe in and then complaining that it's greedy speculators that do so, you're implicitly stating that you believe in the integrity of the Federal Reserve more than all the available options, e.g., the cryptographic proof of monetary principles of Bitcoin, the future value of private app hosting of Holo. That's fine, but I think it just means you're silly, not that we're greedy speculators. This person, you're still stuck at money. So, you know, there's no talking to people like this. There just isn't. This person says a coin, no matter if it's a foreign currency, world standardized fiat, it will help to gain the trust of a mutual credit currency to reflect the value. We had to change from our national currency to the euro. In Europe, I did keep calculating back to the Dutch guilder. So, oh man, you guys can see clearly that it's very unfortunate that we have people like this within the Holochain community, and it's only going to get ugly. Anybody that criticizes the Holochain organization or the Holo organization on what they're doing, why they're doing it, or or speculates on what they're doing, obviously it's a problem. Do we know the kind of people that do that? We do. They're called extremists. Now, we all know the extremists in religion. There's a lot of extremists out there in particular projects. So, yeah. Moving forward, I wanted to read this with you guys because I didn't really. Let's see here. There we go. In the Holo hosting framework for our Holochain apps, we're using units for CPU bandwidth and storage, with CPU basically being WASM ops perform. We don't collapse them into a single unit because apps have different needs for each and different hosts, and different hosts have different costs for each. And I think he's talking about it may make sense to come up with some named unit corresponding to some amount of compute to make it easier to standardize. Compressing this volumetric video was 450 hints. Since compute is going to become the world's most precious resource, what are the units? And you know what? Here we are. It was Kitco News, I believe. Excuse me. It was Kitco News I would say about 3 years ago. Actually, it has been 4 years. No, that's 3 years ago. That actually talked. There was a guy, I can't remember his name, but he actually talked about the future. There's a lot of talk about how the future is going to be computing. It's going to be hosting. It's going to be storage. That's where it's going to be at. That's going to be the currency. And it just may be. It's really going to get ugly. The worse that the world gets, especially, my other video was about world wars. I'm not going to get into all of that. But I just want to talk about, hey, I'm not going to say it's a no-brainer because I didn't think of it, but I do think it is, I think it personally it's a no-brainer it's a no-brainer for me to purchase the hot token, to have a holo port, and to participate in the Holochain ecosystem. I just think that we should. If you're going to make a difference in the world, it starts with communication, and it starts with a platform. First off, if you have a platform and poor communication, i.e. my video might be one of those, it's never going to work. You're not going to change anything. The chances of my video actually being in massive amounts of America is slim to almost zero. No, actually it's closer to zero, right? However, vice versa, even though everything I might be saying is true, vice versa, there are some people who have excellent platforms and they talk about things and it doesn't do anything for anybody. It doesn't help anybody. It's just diverging from a proper things that we should be talking about, right? Um, Interesting. So the Crypto Commons Gathering is a right-sized 60 people event to get real about how to make things work in regen finance, collab finance, new commons, governance. It also goes long enough to dive deep. Come join us in August in Australia. It is true honor once again to host co-founder of Holochain, Art Brock. Come to CCG23 and join the upward spiral. Oh, that's interesting. I don't know what this is, but I'll click on it later. Let's go back. I'm back on. Let me go back to Holochain here. No, is a Holo. Let's do this. I want to check something here. Community. Where is it? Contact. Get involved in projects. Maybe it was Holo, right? I think it was Holo. Whoop. Careers, join us. All right, hold on, Americas, and we scroll down here. What we offer, market salary in national currency, crypto pay program, and Holofuel /hot. Supportive introductory period. So these people are getting paid in hot because guess what? Holofuel is not available. So you want everybody who receive hot to be out, right? This makes no fucking sense, dude. Support introductory period, regular team meetings, collab, inspiring culture, flexible work schedule and vacation, motivated, passionately engaged, and evolutionary global teammates, right? Let me go back here. Head of growth marketing, so it doesn't say in Americas. Here we go. Generous salary in national currency, generous bonus programs, and Holofuel. So I think that, see, it just says Holofuel. It does not say hot. And I think this is the newer one. Growth and marketing. So this is the newer one. Supportive introductory period. But see, here's the thing. It's not in the United States. So wait, maybe it is. No, it's a remote. It's a remote, if I remember correctly. So all in all, you want to get mad. And by the way, this dude's a huge Holochain Holo fan. And you're going to get mad at people for having hot? Get the fuck out of here, man. All right. We got to move forward from this. I've wasted enough time. I wouldn't say wasted. I've invested enough. No, you know what? It's fun. I don't know if you guys, I play basketball. And every once in a while, I have fun. You know, when you're out there and you're talking trash to the other guy, like, yo, you're not going to shoot that. You're not going to shoot that. Oh, you ain't got no crossover. You know what I'm saying? You talking mad shit to the person, but you're cool with each other. You know what I'm saying? That type of thing. I enjoy being able to I think it's very healthy to be able to find an outlet. And unfortunately, that's my channel. We'll get back to regular all things Holochain. But I think it's healthy to just get some things out and then move forward, right? And that's what you should do. So, yeah. I think the people on the pickleball courts, they laugh at me. A lot of them, they really laugh at me. Because when I mess up, the first thing is like, I'll hit the ball and I'm like, I got good spin on it. Like I'm good. I'm going down the line. And then maybe the wind blows a little bit. And I'm like, Jiminy crickets. Fuck. And they just laugh. They're like, Jiminy crickets. And as fuck. It's like, dude, like they always laugh at me when I do that. But anyway, the point is that I'm one of those people. My fiance knows now. My fiance knows that I'm one of those people that I have the best interest. I have the best interest for human beings in general, regardless of color, whatever they're born into. I think human beings are amazing people. And I do have the best interest for human beings. I let out my emotions, and then once my emotions are out, not in a bad way, because when you're in a relationship, it's a little bit different. So I do treat her like way, like 100 times better than I would, some random person. But the point is that I explain, I let things out, and then it's all over, and then I'm done, and then I make a decision on where I need to go from there. But anyway, you guys, please. I understand if you did not watch this video. I understand if you skipped all the way to the end. But this is just more or less of me ranting, talking about people and their ideals, and moving forward from their ideals. But I think the Holochain community has a lot of work to do. Hopefully we will get there. Hopefully we can all sit down and have a nice long chat. I think it would be great to have a nice long chat in front of everybody and really talk about things, and really move forward with some things. So the Doomer, what was it? Anyway, had a good thing going on. I forgot. These are my bookmarks. Maybe I didn't bookmark that, but anyway, you guys have a wonderful day. And as I always say, do your own research. Do your own research. Please, for the love of God, do your own research. And last but not least, stay safe out there. Bye, you guys.